Remember back in the 18th century when mechanical looms first appeared in Europe? Masses of angry workers dragged each other to smash factories because they believed those machines were devils that had stolen their livelihoods. They were panicked, helpless, and thought the future had been stolen. But what happened in the end? The world didn't collapse. Society didn't perish. It only evolved into a new form where jobs didn't disappear but were reborn in different shapes. Now, looking back at this story, perhaps many of us will laugh at the naivety of the people of that time. But how bitterly ironic. Just look, isn't it similar to today's AI story? We ourselves today are repeating the exact same fear, only the tool is no longer the loom, but AI. We are scared and again whining that robots and AI software will replace humans, that ChatGPT will write news, Mid-Journey will paint, Copilot will program for humans. And once again, the crowd shrinks back from change. And once again, only a small group dares to move forward. But the stark truth is that AI doesn't kill you. It is you, if you don't change, who kills yourself. This era is not for the faint-hearted. This is a historical turning point that happens only once in many years, perhaps even a few generations. And you only have two choices: either accelerate and break through, or sit and wait to be thrown off the racetrack. Welcome to AHAY TV, where there will be truths that society doesn't want you to know. A brutal truth. AI is eliminating millions of people from the job market. We are living amidst a technological earthquake, a revolution without gunfire, but massacring millions of jobs every year. Artificial intelligence, AI, is no longer merely a supportive tool as people once naively thought of it. It is gradually becoming silent, efficient replacements that don't demand raises, don't take leave, don't complain, and most terrifyingly, they learn faster than all of us. If you think this is a distant warning, then let's look at the speaking numbers. In 2024, China, the world's second-largest economy, recorded an urban youth unemployment rate exceeding 21.3%, according to data from Bloomberg and South China Morning Post. This is a terrible number, knowing that millions of freshly graduated students each year cannot find jobs. They don't fail because they are lazy, but because the market no longer needs them. Office positions that were once the dream of many, administrative staff, data analysts, accountants, are now gradually being replaced by tools like ChatGPT, Copilot, or intelligent ERP systems capable of automating thousands of tasks every day. And don't think the US is an exception. IBM, a technology giant, announced in early 2023 that it would stop hiring for 7,800 administrative positions because AI could replace them within a few years. Meta, Facebook's parent company, cut over 20,000 employees from late 2022 to 2024 in a restructuring campaign based on automation and AI. Amazon, the e-commerce giant, not only automated warehouses with robots, but also deployed AI in data management, customer service, and recruitment. They didn't lay off due to a crisis. They laid off because they found something better. The question is, what kind of job are you doing? If you are repeating the exact same operations every day without needing creative thinking, without touching technology, then I'm sorry to say you are probably sitting on the waiting bench to be eliminated, and that bench is likely sliding further. A report by Goldman Sachs in 2023 estimated that AI could automate up to 300 million full-time jobs globally in the coming years. Sounds scary, right? But it's already happening. Silent, deadly names like ChatGPT, Mid-Journey, Runway, Jasper are quietly devouring entire professional segments. An average copywriter used to need 3 days to write 5 ad copies. Now, someone who knows how to use AI can create 50 articles in an afternoon, not to mention A/B testing, sales, and content strategy. So who do you think a company will choose? Similarly, a logistics company in Singapore cut 35% of its customer service staff in 2024 and replaced them with an AI system that processes real-time queries. They saved over $2 million per year while increasing productivity by 60%. These numbers speak of a cruel but very logical choice for businesses. We probably need to look straight at the truth. The world no longer needs people who work hard like machines, but needs people who work smarter thanks to machines. Technology doesn't wait for you to finish learning. The market doesn't wait for you to get ready. And AI doesn't stop evolving. If you still think you're fine because your job hasn't been affected, then I'm sorry, you're like a frog in warm water, not realizing that the fire is burning underneath. This is an era where people who don't know how to use AI are no different from the illiterate in the 21st century. And as the machine runs faster and faster, you only have two choices: either climb aboard and move forward, or be crushed and left behind. There is no mercy in this game. If anything, it's only for those who know early and act fast, and those who keep dithering and waiting for the right time. But time waits for no one. But be sober. This is not the end. This is a beginning. Imagine you're driving a car on a dangerous mountain pass. The wind starts to blow, mist rolls in, and warning signs appear densely. The faint-hearted will slow down, hit the brakes, fearfully pull over to the side. But at that very moment, the most stubborn drivers accelerate, overtake, and break away at the turn, leaving everyone behind. That is the era we are living in, a turning point for humanity called artificial intelligence, and you are forced to choose between accelerating or being left behind. Be sober. This is not the end. This is a beginning. A cruel, chaotic beginning that promises no safety but holds countless opportunities for those who are sober enough and dare to break through. History has proven it. Any technological revolution brings about elimination, but at the same time, it also opens up an era for those who know how to adapt. Let's go back to the 18th century, where the first industrial revolution erupted in England. When the steam engine, automatic loom, and mechanical production system were born, many traditional laborers fell into crisis. They didn't understand what was happening. They only saw that machine replacing their hands and making them unemployed and poor. And so the Luddite movement was born. Thousands of workers smashed factories, burned looms, and regarded machines as enemies. But what they didn't know was that the very things they destroyed opened up a new era. That was industrial society, mass production, urbanization, and millions of new jobs. Machines didn't kill them, it was inertia and fear that struck them down. This was repeated later with the information technology revolution in the 2000s. The internet spread, email replaced letters, software replaced typewriters, Google replaced libraries. A host of old professions disappeared, such as typists, internal mail delivery staff, data entry personnel, and so on. And there was once a generation that feared the internet would make people passive and unemployed. But what happened? E-commerce boomed. A 22-year-old could generate millions of dollars in revenue with just a website. UX, UI design, programmers, content creators, sales specialists, all these professions didn't exist before. Yet now they are the dreams of millions of young people. History has never stopped because of fear. It only changes form. And the rewards always go to those who see the future one step ahead of others. And now it's the AI revolution. Are you behaving like those who smashed looms 200 years ago? Are you panicking because AI steals jobs? Because AI is dangerous? Because AI is hard to understand? It's truly ironic that today we can laugh when reading stories of ancient people smashing machines out of fear of losing jobs. But are you sure you are different from them? Are you sure that in 10 or 20 years, the younger generation won't laugh at you, someone who once trembled at the appearance of technology, instead of finding ways to use it? The problem has probably never been technology. The problem is human reaction. ChatGPT doesn't take your job. It takes the job of those who don't know how to use ChatGPT. Midjourney doesn't kill designers. It only makes designers who don't update themselves obsolete. Copilot doesn't fire programmers. It supports the best coders and helps them write code twice as fast. Do you see anything in common here? It's not that the tools are getting stronger, but that people are getting weaker because they refuse to evolve.
And this is the turning point, and the turning point is not for the slow, those who like safety and follow old paths. This is the moment when all old rules are being broken. Every definition of a profession is being rewritten. Don't demand stability in a world that is changing every day. If you need certainty, look to the past. But if you want a future, you must venture into what you don't know. Farmers of old needed buffalo strength to plow fields. Now, they only need a combine harvester. Salespeople of old had to carry loudspeakers and distribute flyers throughout markets until their hands ached. Now, live streaming for a few hours a day is enough to earn hundreds of orders. Writers used to type for hours. Now, they can collaborate with AI to generate ideas in just a few minutes. The only question left is whether you dare and are willing to learn. Remember that this society doesn't collapse because of new technology. Only a group of people are left behind because they don't dare to get on board. The world always rewards the few who see opportunity in crisis. History has never had a place for absolute fairness, and that is even truer during technological revolutions. The stark truth is that every time the form of production changes, only a small, indeed very small group of people who master the new technology will become wealthy, powerful, and dominate the rest. That's not injustice, that's a rule, and you have two choices: continue to be an outsider or learn how to join their game. The first industrial revolution is a prime example. When James Watt improved the steam engine in the late 18th century, he didn't just create a machine, he created an entire new world. From small-scale manual production, society entered an era of mass production. Factories, trains, and steel mills sprung up like mushrooms. So who benefited? Not the farmers plowing fields, not the rickshaw pullers or laundry workers, but the factory owners, engineers, and inventors, those who dared to believe in new technology and dared to invest in what didn't yet exist. Looking back at the electricity and telephone revolution in the early 20th century, you'll see a similar scenario repeated. Thomas Edison, Nikola Tesla, Alexander Bell were not born billionaires. They differed from others in that they saw the future when the whole world was still in darkness. They didn't just create inventions, they created new forms of production and consumption. And those who grasped that technology fastest became the masters of the game. By the computer age, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates didn't produce rice or clothes. They sold software, sold operating systems, and they became the richest people in the world not because they worked more or harder, but because they stood at the peak of a new wave where the whole world was flocking. And today, Sam Altman, the person behind OpenAI and ChatGPT, he doesn't sell products, doesn't sell specific services. He sells the thinking ability of an AI. Elon Musk doesn't sell cars. He sells the vision of a self-driving future, clean air, and electric colonies on Mars. Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA, doesn't sell computers. He sells the brains of the 21st century, AI chips, graphics processing units, infrastructure for artificial intelligence and the virtual universe. They no longer trade traditional products, they trade the future. And you don't need to become them, but you are forced to stand with them. So what does it mean to stand with them? It means learning their language. The language of this era is data,
algorithms, technology, AI. That's how they think, how they see the world, not as consumers, but as creators. If you don't know how to use ChatGPT to optimize your work, you are outdated. If you don't understand how AI works, you are falling behind. And if you are still clinging to the mindset of, I can't learn technology, then you have eliminated yourself from the development cycle. This world doesn't eliminate you. You are eliminating yourself through procrastination, laziness to learn, and fear of change. Do you know that in 2024, a freelancer in the Philippines used GPT-4 to write marketing content for startups in the US and earned over $10,000 per month while only using an old laptop and Wi-Fi at a coffee shop? Meanwhile, right in the center of Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City, thousands of communication graduates are unemployed because they are still struggling with paper resumes and old-fashioned copywriting skills. Do you know that a 16-year-old student in India just created a vocabulary learning app integrating AI for translation and pronunciation practice, attracting over 200,000 downloads in just 3 months, earning thousands of dollars from advertising and sponsorship? Do you know that a retired teacher in the US who doesn't know programming but knows how to use ChatGPT created online teaching materials and then sold them on the Teachers Pay Teachers platform and earned 5 times their monthly pension? None of them are geniuses. They are just a few steps faster than you. They don't complain about AI. They ride it like a magical horse, and as a result, they are on the other side of the revolution, where there is money, opportunity, and the power of choice. This world always rewards the few who can see opportunities in crisis. It's not because they are inherently skilled, but because they are not stuck in old ways of thinking. When the majority are scared, they learn. When the majority retreat, they step forward. And while the majority are still debating whether AI will steal human jobs, they have already created new professions from AI itself. The final question is, where do you choose to stand? On the side that is being replaced, or on the side that is leading? Do you choose to serve the revolution, or choose to master it? Every era has new kings, and AI is the throne of the 21st century. Those who quickly seize it will lead this world. The rest will just be a cheering crowd.
To bow down or stand up, that is your choice. Opportunities are still there for anyone who knows how to hone their skills and dares to adapt. This world certainly won't end because of AI. Jobs won't disappear because of technology. The unemployed are not unemployed because robots took their place, but because they refuse to learn how to live with robots. Let's look straight at the truth. Whenever a form of production changes, societal needs don't disappear, they merely transform. And anyone quick enough, brave enough, and eager enough to adapt can find a new place, a new role, or even draw a new racetrack for themselves. The question is whether you are willing to transform with it. If AI can do the work of 10 people, the remaining 9 won't be on the streets begging. Instead, they might shift to doing things AI has never been able to do, such as connecting emotions, storytelling, creating experiences, caring for human well-being. Humans have never lived solely on rice. They also live on emotions, meaning, and connection, and that is something machines have never been able to reach. Podcasts, TikTok, career coaches, mental health professionals, content creators, etc. are all professions that barely existed before 2010. However, the saturation of old industries like traditional accounting, HR, and marketing gave rise to new demands. When people had too much information but lacked direction, so coaches appeared. When people were stressed from overworking with machines, the psychology therapy industry boomed. And when people grew tired of one-way media, individual content creators rose to prominence. The new emerges from the void of the old, And then, if you are a communications professional, imagine you know how to use ChatGPT to write content, Midjourney to create images, Runway to automatically edit videos, and AI to plan content. You alone can work as effectively as a team of 5 people, and naturally, your income would be 5 times higher. This is not theory, this is a reality. Freelancers on Fiverr, Upwork, and communication specialists in Southeast Asia are living by this very model. They are not replaced by AI, they use AI to replace others. The opportunity is right there, but it's not lying on the ground. It lies in the hours you spend diligently learning to code, the nights you fumbled to learn video editing, content creation, using AI tools, and building your personal ecosystem. Do you want to rise from AI? There are no shortcuts. There is only one truth. If you want to ride the wave of technology, you must first get into the water. Before labor productivity increases tenfold thanks to new tools, perhaps only 10% of the workforce will be enough to produce wealth to sustain 100% of society. And what will the remaining 90% do? They will serve other needs that AI cannot completely replace, such as entertainment, care, strategic thinking, personal creativity, art, community connection, etc. Society will shift from competing for labor to allocating roles based on soft skills, and that is your opportunity if you are flexible enough to see it. No one wants to hire an employee who only knows how to follow procedures anymore. What they need are people who can identify problems, create new solutions, and apply tools to increase their self-worth. And you have many opportunities to learn these things for free from YouTube, Coursera, EDX, Udemy, open source materials, or Discord communities, etc. Never has the path to learning been so cheap and readily available. You don't learn not because you lack the conditions, but because you've never considered learning a matter of survival. In 2024, a 17-year-old student in Nigeria built an AI-powered reading app that helps illiterate children listen to audiobooks in their native language. The product received $30,000 from a European investment fund for development. At the same time, tens of thousands of graduates in developed countries were unemployed because they didn't know what to do after college. One person uses AI to solve social problems, while the other doesn't even know what AI is. So who survives and who fails here? The world doesn't care which school you attended, where you were born, or who your parents are. It only needs to know if you can solve problems. And to solve them, you need skills, thinking, and tools. The poor are not poor because they lack money. They are poor because they lack the tools to create value. And in this era, the tools are right there on the computer you're using. ChatGPT, Midjourney, Notion AI, Runway, Canva, GitHub, Copilot, Figma, those are the shovels, hoes, and plows of the 21st century. Whoever learns to use them better will win. Opportunities are still equally distributed to all, but rewards only come to those who dare to train their skills, change their mindset, and truly adapt. Don't wait for someone to point the way in this era. The path is something you must draw yourself with your own hands and mind. And if you are persistent enough, diligent enough, and brave enough not to be left behind, you will step out of the cycle of unemployment, instability, and anxiety. Because in the end, opportunity doesn't die. Only people lose it themselves through inertia and blaming. Instead of fearing AI, learn to live with it. Instead of asking, what will I do if AI replaces me? Ask instead, what can I do that AI cannot? The answer lies within you, and it will determine where you stand in this new era. This era waits for no one. Either you change or you are replaced. We are living in an era not for the slow. This is the era of speed, of technology, and of those who dare to think fast, act fast, learn fast, and cast aside fear to start anew. You don't have much time to hesitate. And if you are still sitting there hoping someone will come, hold your hand, lead the way, and give you an opportunity, then I'm sorry, you've been left behind long ago. Look back and see. The people creating new tools, those shaping this future,
They are already running a marathon at breakneck speed. Sam Altman with ChatGPT, Jensen Huang with NVIDIA's neural chips, Elon Musk with autonomous robots, bio-AI, or New Wing, they are not debating with you about whether AI is dangerous. They are redesigning the new world. And while they run, most of us are still scrolling TikTok, commenting like, "Wow, AI is so scary." A few years ago, you were asking what AI is. Now AI knows how to write poetry, compose music, design slides, analyze financial statements, program apps, and even write reports you submit to your boss. The world doesn't discriminate against you, it's just operating by the logic that those who are more skilled, faster, and understand new tools will survive and win. No one will come to pat you on the shoulder and say, "I will give you a new opportunity." Opportunity is not something someone will hand out. Opportunity is something you must seize with sweat, with blood, with persistence, and with hundreds of hours of learning new skills, new practical experience, and new tools. And finally, the world doesn't destroy you. It is procrastination, fear of change, and the habit of blaming that kill you from within. Don't wait for the storm to pass. It will never stop. Instead, learn how to sail the boat really well. You cannot avoid the storm, but you can learn how to sail the boat really well. The new game has begun, and the question is whether you will participate or stand by and watch others master the world.